Good morning, everybody. A wonderful spring day. It's still cold out in Oregon, so I'm still rugged up in sweaters, as you can see. But I'm Dilani Diva, and welcome to my spiritual studio. Today, we are going to talk about the power of the collective consciousness. And this topic has been on my mind for several months now, and I've been meditating and, talking to my guide about it. And so today I want to present some thoughts for you that may find some common ground, and then you can do your own meditation and come to certain conclusions. The initial reason why this topic came into my mind was all these natural disasters that are happening around the world today. What with the fires, the earthquake, the floods, it's very disconcerting. And so I went into my meditative studio, and where I'm actually now at my desk really, and started connecting with my guide and communicating and finding out reasons why this is happening. Now, some of us know that the natural causes of these natural disasters, but then there is more of a spiritual dimension in everything that we find being natural. And I like to find the spiritual dimension. I like to mosey around these things and see if there's any way that you and I can make a change for the better. Yes, that's empowering, isn't it? So, Leanne and I sat and chatted for a while about these situations that are happening around, and not just in nature, but with the political arena, with the daily lives of people, where lots of pain and hunger and depletion of life is had around the world. And we started off with this phrase, the power of the collective consciousness. This phrase or this topic was just given to me by her, through her. And so I started meditating on it and asking questions, which I generally do. And to begin with, I want to start with the thought of prayer. Now, prayer is when a group of people get together and pray, hopefully for the betterment and healing of a situation. And we know how much of prayer has answered many a miracle today. Many miracles of healing have happened through prayer. I know people who have been really completely healed from cancer and so on and so forth with this element of prayer. My grandmother, many, many years ago when I was a little tacker, was on a deathbed, and a pastor came along and prayed for her. And before the prayer was over, she just woke up and said, "What on earth are you doing here?" It was really very profound. And from then, I have been very, very interested in the spiritual world and the power of the spirit, so to speak. And so, the power of prayer is actually, again, the power of the positive collective consciousness. I feel that this has so much of power that it is like a chorus that raises up into heaven, and then, of course, God at a higher level, because all these things are very pure in itself. You see, the thoughts when it comes to prayer is full of supplication, full of asking of forgiveness, full of asking of prayer and healing. We are all in a very spiritual mind, so to speak, in one mind. And this is very powerful, pure energy, and it can rise up and connect with our higher spirit and God and angels, you see. So this is how it initiates it. We ask, we receive, but it is through this channel of high spirituality that we receive the answer to prayer. We know that we have a little bit of God in us, and so the reflection of God, not necessarily God, but a reflection of God, because He made us in His image. And so we are two co-creators. And so we, as we are praying, we are healing in a little smidgy way, and then God heals in a much more powerful way. And it is the collectiveness of this prayer that makes it so powerful. And so that is the collectiveness of the positive collectiveness of consciousness that is gathered. Now, then we have what we call the negative collective consciousness. Most of the time, negative collective consciousness doesn't come where people are gathered together and saying, oh, I want to just kill somebody. But it happens when, groupings get together and decide to, either, create havoc like mayhem, or really we get a lot of it on TV today. If you go and switch your TV on, how much of criticism is there about world leaders, about projects that are happening, about things that generally people don't disagree. It's famous now for people to pick up some nasty little topic and just go on about it, and have no respect for others in itself. And so that pulls on people that are watching, and we all get on that same train to head off to disaster in a mental state. And we say, oh yes, he is such a dirty fellow, what's he doing up there, and so on and so forth. And so we have this power of the negative collective consciousness. This is a very, very dangerous thing to do. We don't realize, but when the negative collective consciousness gathers, as much as there's good and then there's evil, it promotes and evokes negative disasters. Personally, people fall sick. They inhale. There's depression. It creates a lot of unrest. This negative energy needs to go somewhere, and it definitely doesn't go up. So most of the time, it recedes and goes out into the physical world, because it is the physical world that carries most of this negative collective consciousness. It doesn't go up into the heavens, and so this negative thought really has caused a lot of disaster. We have to be, of course, mindful about saving the planet and doing the right things. Our actions also have positive and negative collective consciousnesses. I'm talking more about what this world has become and is becoming. Being aware that there is so much of ill health, mental ill health, spiritual ill health, and depression, and killing, and frustration, and war. It is important for you and I to make a decision on where we place our thoughts. Do we place our thoughts that really create with the co-creator, or do we place our thoughts with that which is completely annihilating creation, breaking down what is good? And do we go down into that level of criticizing and just making a big noise? My pet little mantra to myself is, if I cannot do better, if I cannot come up with a better plan than somebody else does, then it is not up to me to speak, because I will only create confusion. And so I leave you with that thought. Where do we place ourselves? What do we do in order to make this a better world? Remember, we are only travelers. We are only here for a short time. It is not this world that carries our spirit. It is within ourselves, what we create. Let us reflect great energy. Let us be co-creators. Let us empower ourselves and choose not to just criticize, but to come up with something better to help this universe. Oh, there is my phone, and I have to get back to work. So I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you soon on that phone. Take care then. Bye-bye.